Welcome back to Alternative Reality Gaming. I'm your host Lenny, and if you're lucky, one of my furry co-hosts will join us today. Your stream will begin shortly. Enjoy. Alright, welcome back. We are going to be playing some more Euro Truck Simulator 2 again today. We are playing on the Grand Utopia 1-to-1 scale make-believe island map that loosely resembles a French island, kind of. Does France have islands? I've never even looked. I mean, I'm sure there's probably one or two somewhere. Uh, all right. I mean, they have coastal regions, so let's grab ourselves a quick job. We're working our way from the ground up. We don't have our own truck yet. It's still Wednesday in the game, which apparently takes forever. You know what? We should probably try and find a way to sleep it off to get to the next day. Could probably get a couple more runs in on this day though, because what, $1,700 would be. Wow, I really suck at math. It's 24 minus, what is that, 6.5? So you're talking $1,700 is 6:30 p.m. Yeah, somewhere around there. All right. So, yeah, that would give us, hell, just of daylight. That's another 3 hours in the summer. So that should be able to at least get 2 or 3 more loads. So what we've been doing though is we've been everything in white. I've seen everything in black. I have not. So I've been trying to kind of force it to take routes that make me discover roads. Apparently this one I might not have to force though, because it kind of just worked. Wow, that doesn't usually happen. That was the first load I clicked. Okay, so let's just take this one. Once we get in, I'm gonna click on the map and we're gonna figure out if it takes a route that I've seen or not. Because a lot of times it does like to take routes that I've already seen, even though when I first click it, it didn't. So like the beginning of this I've already seen, second half of this I have not, and I'm just trying to make sure, okay, that it doesn't do anything goofy. So as long as I don't miss any of these turns, it'll have me take this route. We're looking good. Let's get this truck started so we can get some air going. I am really far back, which isn't that terrible, but do have to go down some, lower the steering wheel, might come forward a little bit just so I can actually see out the dang window when I look left. And then the next step is to aim these mirrors, make it so we can just barely see the truck. We know where the truck's at, we don't need to see it. That one was actually almost perfect on its own. And go all the way out on that one. Side mirror all the way out. The front mirror. It's like one of the better spots where you can actually see the whole front end. That's kind of strange. All right. GPS looks like it's telling us to go out over there. Just drive off into the lake. It looked like there was a sailboat over there in the dry dock. Uh-oh, looks like we got 4 axles in the back there. We might have a rear steer. About to find out when I get up to this corner though. Someone forgot to draw in the lake. Naughty, naughty. Yeah, it's definitely either that or it didn't load because you could see straight through it to the rocks there, the shoreline. Don't you do it. bushes. Clear on the left, so we're just gonna go for it. The artwork. Like every roundabout seems to have one. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense to put something there to stop people from just straight through and make it that they can see it as they're coming up on it at full speed. Thanks a lot, asshole. Yeah, don't worry. Nobody else joined the intersection at the same time. Good. 30-mile-an-hour zone. You can speed up right at the crosswalk. Yeah, fuck the people. Jesus. Got a little playground out in the middle of nowhere. Overlooking some beautiful warehouses. That's the park I want to take my kids to. There's that castle up on the hillside up there. Barely see it. Looks like we're still going straight here. Grill King. I do think that games should start selling advertising to like just random companies, like for the billboards and all that stuff. It's like missed revenue. Okay, I see. Saw that cop and I was like, oh no. But I mean, like, in a game like this, where it's really kind of hard to misconstrue representation, which is usually the reason that companies don't sell their licensing or whatever. Kind of like in this game, you can't damage any of the semis. It's just not possible. It does not show damage, and that's because in order to use the licensing for these trucks, the manufacturers were not okay with their vehicles showing damage. They have to be pretty imperfect at all times. And that's just how it goes for, and that's not just this game, that's pretty much all games. Any game that uses a company's logo, vehicles, likeness, all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy what you can, because I made a gravedigger skin for the trucks actually in this, and just looking into like if I could sell it, I would have to have all the permissions from Gravedigger to use their name. Their name is trademarked. So there are some leeways around it, like you can use the name Gravedigger as long as it doesn't, it's just Gravedigger. It's not insinuating a monster truck. It can't it can't be like their weird little like bloody logo thing that they have, the green flames, anything that will bring it back full circle to the actual Gravedigger monster truck. It's just not worth fucking around with it. And yeah, I get them small fry. They probably wouldn't even give a shit. But it's the principle of things. Like, I don't like stealing. I don't want to take food out of people's mouths. They worked hard to build that name. So if they want to own it and control it, by all means, it's theirs. And so I mean, I get it with these companies. Hell, look at a lot of the racing games didn't even have Toyota in them for years. What? Forza Horizon 5 came out, I think it was like 2019, maybe, somewhere around there. Toyota only had like a few of their race cars and like none of their actual cars, like their production models. And they just, most of the manufacturers could not get Toyota licensing. There were some that were able to get it, but like, I don't know. I never really looked into why Toyota didn't want to give it up. But it isn't that people had their licensing before that, and then it just ran out. Like Toyota was in all of the old Forza games, and it just was like right then their license fell off, and instead of renewing, I don't know if they wanted too much or what the deal was with it, but yeah, most of the games could not get the licensing on Toyota, so they just weren't in there. And crazy enough, I didn't buy. That was like the first Forza game I didn't buy. And then funny enough, I haven't bought a Forza after that. And Toyota is now in there. They've added them after the fact, so I'm guessing that the game funded purchasing the license. I honestly don't know, but yeah, it was kind of annoying. And like, I'll admit it, I'm a big MR2 fanboy. So it really bugged me that I couldn't drive an MR2 in it. I have actually kind of debated on picking up Game Pass so that I could play Forza 7, Motorsport 7, sorry. Is that technically 7? Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost positive it's 7. The last one before that would have been 6. Cool looking man. Got some Beamers. A lot of hatchbacks. Alright, a little too close to the right side of the road. I forgot about these stupid poles. You can't get too close to them because, yeah, their physics is a little jacked up. Like bumpers and stuff get caught on them when they're not supposed to even be hitting yet. Gotta be careful around them little pylons. Haven't messed with these middle ones yet, so I don't know if they're treated like one mono block or individual, because I think that's what's causing the problem, is that they tried to give each one their own like physical placement, and by doing that it made it that they have a bigger footprint and seem to get hung up on shit. I mean, I guess it's probably better off that way, because it's not very realistic to just be able to drag a container across like a one mono pylon instead of a bunch of little ones. I actually want to look into making my own map. I definitely like the idea of these one-to-one maps, and I don't think it would be terribly hard to make these maps. It'd be time-consuming as hell, don't get me wrong. But most of these maps are usually assets. So like whoever built this map most likely bought an assets package. I don't know exactly where to buy them usually. I know Humble Bundle sells asset packages and stuff quite often. But so they usually get these asset packages that have like 100 trees, 100 different rocks, 100 different walls, 100 different traffic cars. And yes, I'm just throwing out a random number. And then you can kind of go through and you got to keep placing all these rocks. So like this right here. See, I don't know with Prism 3D. Like Unreal now, the new Unreal 5 engine, they are starting to do like chunks. So it'd be like a square here and they can just keep plopping a bunch of squares down. And got a turn right here. So it's just very time consuming to make it that things don't look like they're just a bunch of copy paste, because like even this wall, you can see it's not straight. So he took the time to make sure that each one of these wall pieces aren't the same. That one's the same, and this one's the same. The one next to it's the same, and then he changed, and then the same, and then he changed. So it's dumb shit, and actually that one and that one are not the same. They're different graffiti. But you'll start to see the overlap if you start looking at their graffiti. And that you gotta keep them far enough apart that people don't notice them. Once you start playing games a lot, you start to notice those things, and not because you're trying to bitch or nitpick, but because a lot of times they hide Easter eggs that way. And the only way to notice it is like that one tile is just a little different than the rest. And it's because like that one didn't have they hid something behind it, didn't give it physics, so you can clip through it, whatever. Like I enjoy finding the weird little secrets and just broken stuff in games. So I tend to notice that shit a lot. Like I said, I'm not like nitpicking a bitch about it. Just I see it. I think that kind of makes me feel like I got some OCD issues, because I notice that stuff a lot, not just in games, it's with everything. I get hung up on some of the smallest details for no reason. We're gonna hit? I didn't even think to look. It looks pretty close up there. Okay. Nice little industrial yard. Like the broken windows. If you look, the broken windows are the same. And then it might be easier just to pop out and move the camera around. So, whoa. But you can see you got two solids, a broken, a solid, or a solid glass, and then 6 solids in a row. So he's got the up to the 2 solids, and then he started to break it up so that it doesn't look uniform. Ooh. I gotta be careful doing that. The motion of the camera is a little too much. Why won't it let me go back in my truck? Am I too far away? It won't let me in. That's weird. There we go. I was like, I was hitting the button, it just wasn't registering it. think I'm gonna have to turn around and back in. Kind of looks like there might be enough space back there to turn around. I hope. But no, we're gonna be running over some grass. So we're gonna go past the forklift, and then we're gonna back up to it. Because I can almost guarantee those forks have collision, and I'm probably gonna freaking hit them. We're about to find out if they got collision. I don't know. My trailer didn't rock. I tried to just like clip it so that maybe the trailer would rock. Get myself straightened out some. Mostly wanted to see the cones. And now, turn the wheel so that we start kicking it in there. But I also gotta watch my ass end. I'm watching that top mirror. Getting close. And close here. Back. I think. Damn armrest. I think I am in the wrong dock too. Yeah. I stopped just in time. Okay, so I need that cone on the other side of me. I wonder if it's because of the steering trailer turning faster than I'm used to. So let's straighten this thing out some. So now, I don't want it to kick in so fast. So we're gonna try and straighten out and not hit this skid next to me. We need to be next to that other trailer. And it sucks because the more I turn, hi kitty, the more the trailer turns. Like, without even actually doing motion part of it. You know, I am about to finish this load, hon. Yeah, you're just gonna force your love on me? Alright. Let's straighten out now. Uh-oh, don't tell me I crossed that guardrail. I'm hung up on something, that's for sure. We are green. Let's hit this parking brake. It's getting a little harder having to reach across with her here. So we did manage to finagle it in there. It's not the straightest, but it's in. So let's drop these legs. 21 minutes. They said good work, which means I probably did some damage. Yep. 11 euros, that's it. That's weird. 1.3% damage. Alright, I mean, I guess that's not... It could be a lot worse, but that's not very realistic. It should be a lot more than that. Not much I can do about that. I don't think there's mods to make damage more realistic, like valuing or anything. Alrighty, so I have 49,196 euros at the end of this one. It is still Wednesday. I think we're gonna end up doing the next load for free just to get through the night. But it is still very bright, so do we just keep going till dusk and then sleep through the night and throw away a load? I'm gonna keep mulling on it. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Alright, peace out. Till next time. If you liked today's episode, please consider leaving a like and subscribing as it goes a long way to helping the channel to grow. Thank you.